Hello, everybody, and welcome. This is Livestream with Restream, and I'm your host, Anya, and today joining me is Lawson. Hi there, how are you?
Hey everyone. Hi Anya, how are you?
Good, good. Welcome, everyone. Randy Mitchell already says hype in his chat comments. It's great to see you, Randy, and great to see you all. Thanks for joining us today, and welcome to our show. This is our live stream and product demo, and today we are going to be talking about the website streaming, so streaming on your own website. So prepare your questions, get ready to be active in the chat because we have a lot of questions for you and a lot of things to demo and share. Awesome, awesome. All right. So I guess to get this party started, I want to kick off with a very simple question. Since we are talking about website streaming today and how to make it happen with Restream, I would like to know if you guys have your own website. So please share in the comments if you have a website. And honestly, if you have something to share, like if you want to drop a link, you're welcome to do that, whether you're on
Please
Facebook
do.
or YouTube. Yes, please do. We'll have a look. And what we're trying to do today is to actually walk through specific use cases of why would you want to stream on your website in the first place? What are the benefits of doing that in comparison to social platforms, or maybe all together in conjunction with platforms that you're typically streaming, such as YouTube and LinkedIn and Facebook. And of course, we'll show you how exactly you can do that with Restream. This is a brand new feature, so you are basically getting very exclusive sneak peek into what we are building today. So it's still in early access, and it will be announced officially very soon. Awesome possum here. So we have
Our
some.
first one.
Yeah, we got the first site. Yeah, I see Ian Anderson Gray is saying hello, hello, hello. Hi, Ian. Good to see you here. Welcome to the show. And I see a couple of people saying yes. That I'm assuming is the answer to the question. Do you have your website? And here it is. Yes, awesome. Like we see some website
Awesome.
and we see some other ones.
I'm loving
And
that name. Choose high velocity. That's powerful.
I'm totally clicking on this right now. We're gonna have a look what that is. That's really really cool. And I see some comments from Todd. He's here from LinkedIn. He says, "Hi Anya, glad I have caught you live stream live at this time. It's always a pleasure to see you and hear you in real time. Thank you so much, Todd. It's always a pleasure to see you in the chat." Amazing. All right. So I think before we, as we are getting ready, and as you guys are continuing to share your website links, just so other people who are watching us today can have a look, and also we can have a look at where you guys are streaming and what you guys are typically talking about. I would also like to invite you to share if you are streaming using Restream Studio, or you're using other streaming software such as OBS, Ecamm, or anything else. Not that it changes much in terms of your opportunity or ability to go live on your website, but we're just curious to see like what's your preferred method of creating videos. So feel free to add that on in addition to how you are going live. Okay, cool. And I see there are more comments here on LinkedIn, and Jalil says the feature has or has not been released yet. So currently the feature is available. It's kind of like silently launched for our premium and business users. And we are going to have the official public launch for it next week. So next Thursday, keep an eye on that email. It's going to be served right into your inbox with the official announcement, release, and some special offers that you could take advantage of.
Exciting.
Amazing. And there's some answers to how we stream. So Ian says Ecamm and Restream for me, Restream Studio on its own. So different ways. That's great. And
Diversify.
totally, yeah, it depends on your use case, right?
Yeah.
Like whatever you need to do. Jalil says Restream always. That's beautiful. Ecamm and Restream combo is a choice from Martin. Hi, Martin, and welcome to the show.
Seems like a
And
popular combo with this crowd. Ecamm
yeah,
and Restream.
yeah, totally. And there is more Ecamm and Restream comments. I'm using Ecamm to
Everywhere.
Restream. Yeah, that's so cool. Like that's such a good like united crowd. This is
It's a
awesome.
fun coincidence, yeah.
Um, Beautiful. And Ian is asking, will this be available for pro users or just premium and above? That's actually a very cool question. And we are going to, specifically for our live viewers, we are going to give you a sneak peek about pricing. So currently we are in early access is premium plus, but the special offer that we are going to send out to you when we officially launch the feature is going to include our pro users. So keep an eye on that. It's amazing. And here is Randy. He is saying that I use Restream Studio only, haha, but I might be biased. Randy is one of.
Maybe a little bit.
That's amazing. And there's Love Center Atlanta. I love the name too, Love Center.
Yeah.
Here to learn how to place on the website using Restream via OBS and Atom Mini Pro. Beautiful. That's really cool. Love Center, if you can send us the link to your website, we would love to see that. I would love to see just to drop it in the link in the chat. And we would like to just collect them and kind of like maybe revisit and see if you guys successfully ended up streaming to it. All right, so just a quick walkthrough of why you would want to stream on your website. I know a lot of you already know that that's what you want to do, and you're here to learn how. But for those who are maybe watching us on replay or just kind of joining us right now, we would like to start with the reasoning, right? Like, why would you consider streaming on your own website versus or together with YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, or any other social platform of choice? So there are three main reasons that I found, and feel free to add your own in the chat as well, since it's a two-way street, it's a conversation. Number one reason that we hear a lot from our users, actually, primarily, is a one destination for all viewers. So think about it as kind of like a one place, one stop shop where you can direct all the users that never changes, right? So if you are streaming your church service, for example, of course, a lot of your congregation is going to follow you on Facebook. Some people are not on Facebook. Some might follow you on LinkedIn. Some might be looking forward to your streams on YouTube, but that's kind of diversifying things, and that's great for exposure and discoverability. But if you're trying to basically take all the people that already know and love you and looking forward to your stream, sending them to one destination that never changes, it's a pretty good idea. So that's one of the reasons people love to stream on their websites, is because it's one stop. The second reason that I hear a lot from our Restream creators is control of content. When you are thinking about streaming on YouTube, you are subject to their terms and conditions. You are following their algorithms, and there are certain limitations in terms of what you can and cannot put around your video. So you have some space for description and title, and of course your comments, but that's pretty much it. That's all YouTube or Facebook allow you to use as your real estate space. Versus your website is kind of your own property, right? Like you can put any buttons, any calls to actions, any other things right next to it. A very common example that I heard from our church service and religious streamers was around putting your church service schedule right next to your stream, so people could watch it, but they can also see when the service is happening live, and next time they want to come in person, they can know exactly when. So that's very helpful. And I guess one last point is the CTA, of course. For those who are selling our products or services, and live streaming is one of the vehicles to educate people, motivate, and inspire them about what we do. Kind of similar to what we're doing here with Lawson
Yeah.
today. We're trying to
You
inspire you
can
about live streaming.
point. Buy this
Point.
flowers.
That right there. Yeah, so like it's beautiful to be able to tell people that this is the call to action. This is what we want you to do. We're live streaming here because we want you to try streaming on your website. We're live streaming today because we want you to sign up for a newsletter, or anything else that you want your viewers to take an action on is something that you can put right next to your video. And actually, as an example, we are going to go ahead and add a link. And also, I'm going to share my screen to show you like how that looks in action to the chat. Just going to drop it here. Whoop, here we go. So for those, I know that our community on Facebook is not going to receive it because there are certain limitations in terms of what we can and cannot send in chat. But this is the page. It's actually just restream.io/website player, website dash player. So you can actually see how it looks in action for us right now. So we're brave enough to stream this event on our own website. So like this is our page. It's actually under special tag that says live now. You can actually just go to restream.io and like find it right there. And here's us. Here's Lawson and me and our little captions, and here's our CTA, right? Try our web player. So this is how like easily you can integrate your live content and your calls to actions directly on your website. So I hope that was helpful, and let's go ahead and get into our chat and see if we have any other questions or comments here.
I saw one from Ian on how it's different from YouTube's Embed. I'll show it here on the screen. Some big differences here is that obviously you're in more control of your embed if you're using ours. Like YouTube is still possibly going to run ads on whatever you embed on your site if you're doing it this route. Another way is with ads mentioning. I believe you have to have monetization enabled on your YouTube channel to be able to embed a YouTube stream. So this doesn't work for nonprofit organizations because they can't opt in for a monetization policy on YouTube. So that's one big difference.
Yeah, that's absolutely a great point. Also, one of the things that we are working on right now as we speak is, so this is going to be our first iteration. So the goal here is just to give you reliable, high quality video on your website, whether you're streaming through Ecamm or BS or Restream Studio. In the future, one of the things that we are planning to add in our iteration 2 is more customization. So when you are embedding your YouTube player, you're getting YouTube logo in it and all the YouTube shenanigan around it, right? So what we're trying to build is the opportunity for you to choose your own colors, to add your own logo, and really truly customize that experience for your website so it stays on brand. And there are more comments here, which is super, super awesome. I am going to take this one from Sean. So Sean is saying, how does chat work when embedded on website? So I'm going to go ahead and actually put our chat overlay live here. And I actually encourage you guys to like put a couple of comments here so it starts populating, because it only shows comments that appear after we enabled it. And then from here, we can actually go back to our page so you can see how the chat that aggregates from all social platforms can appear as an overlay on your stream. Here we go. So we have our first comments. We have a couple more comments here. And if I actually share my screen, like right here, you see our chat box right here. So once there is a little bit of delay, of course, between live and
in real time.
In real time. Yeah. So like in just a second here, you will see how the chats are populating. So one important thing to remember, Sean, is that here they are, is that the chats are going to be coming from your social platforms, right? So people who are watching on the website are not going to be able to chat just yet, because in this iteration we're bringing it as a view only. But in the future, it is possible that we will be adding that functionality, and folks who are watching on your website will also be able to add commentary as you are live. Great question. All right. So let's see. Let's take a couple more questions before we get to the demo, because I know everyone is looking forward to learning how exactly this would work. And there's one question from Ian here. Will you be building a chat widget that we can embed? Would be perfect for webinars. So Lawson, would you like to take this one?
Yeah.
A little bit about the difference between widget and embed that we have currently?
Sure. So for chat widget, we don't have it embedded on websites just yet, but sorry, building chat. Sorry, can you ask you to take this one? Sorry.
No worries. Yeah. So currently, what we are offering is basically the ability to take your live stream that you're creating within Restream or with OBS and like put it on your website, right? Like, so maybe Ian, you need to clarify like what exactly you mean about like the embed and like how is it different from what we're doing right now? Because it sounds like there is something to do with chat messages, but like, yeah, please let us know. Please feel free to elaborate on that, because what we are offering right now is basically a website embed. And if there's something that's missing, just let us know. We'll be happy to look into that a little more. All right. So there are some questions that are not necessarily related to the website, but we'll definitely take them as well. Will Restream be able to use multiple cameras? That feature is currently on our roadmap. We are looking forward to bringing it into our studio. So it is something that we are building as we speak. So short answer is yes. Eventually it will be. It's just not ready at the moment. But we're definitely encouraging you to, whenever you talk to our support team, to continue upvoting that feature requested, because more people speak up and say, hey, we really need this. This is going to help us. The sooner we are going to prioritize it. All right. So there are a couple of people here from Facebook. They are appearing as Facebook users. Lawson, if you don't mind sharing the link in the chat of how you can actually allow us to see your name.
Yeah,
So there are certain
absolutely.
permissions. So there are certain permissions that you need to give to us in order to see your name. But I'm going to show you as Facebook user right now. So at least take your question. Agreed, single destination is great. And then there is another comment here, but complementary engagement tools are critical, chat polls, etc. Yes, great point. Absolutely. More engagement, better. And here's Ian clarifying his question. It's what you mentioned to Sean, the ability for website viewers to comment. That way we can use Restream as a webinar platform. Yes, absolutely. So that is definitely coming in the next iterations. We are going to bring the ability for viewers to comment and interact with videos. So right now it's view only, but it's definitely coming up soon. But as a workaround right now, you can definitely still encourage your viewers to watch maybe on Facebook private event or your unlisted YouTube event, and in that case, we can you can also show those comments as an overlay. Like that's a quick workaround for iteration 1. All right. There is a question about text to speech from Facebook and YouTube on OBS. Let's see. This is from Texas Tint Pro. If you're based in Texas, then hello, because that's where we are as well. So that's awesome. Lawson, what do you think? Is there anything we can share on the text to speech from Facebook? Because I know that on the Ant platforms, you do have that opportunity to just like include the
Well, I
text to
believe
speech.
our chat has the option to do text to speech, but I'm not sure what would be causing it to work on some platforms and not others. But that might be something that our 24/7 live chat support can really dive deep into and really figure out what's going on there. That does seem a little odd.
Totally. So here is another comment from Facebook user. As they are giving permissions to us, just peeped on the website and it appears to be lower quality than here on Facebook. So what you can do there, let me actually demo that for you real quick. So we are, because that's a great question, like why my audience is seeing the website in a different quality and a lower quality. So see how right here on the player, you have the options. So by default, what Restream would do is we will just default it to kind of like lower-ish quality, just to make sure that the sustainability and reliability is prioritized, right? Like, because people are going to be watching on different devices, they will be watching with different internet connection. So we will start with the 480p, but your viewers do have an option to change it to 1080, and then the quality will go up.
Yeah.
So that's something for you to share with
A
your
lot
viewers.
a lot of the internet is mobile these days, and 480 is typically just, it's good for mobile. Like YouTube does the same thing. They default to 480p when you're looking at a YouTube video online on your phone. So
Totally.
it looks just the same.
Totally. Yes. Remember, a lot of times you'll be watching your own preview because, of course, you're curious. How is it showing up on my website, on your big monitor within your studio? And you're seeing this quality and you're like, oh my God, this is probably not ideal. But remember that a lot of your audience and viewers are not going to experience it in the same
Mhm.
environment. Another thing to remember, I think, Lawson, at some point you taught me that when you are streaming
Mhm.
and at the same time you're watching your video, that
Yeah.
is basically making your same
Yeah.
laptop computer use
Yeah.
up extra resources. So for you, the
Mhm.
quality starts to downgrade because you are basically sharing the space
Yeah.
between creating and sending the content and actually receiving it as a viewer. Is that right, Lawson?
Yeah, streaming on your computer is kind of intensive for your computer. So whenever you're trying to ask it to stream live and watch a live stream, you're asking a lot from your computer, and it can only do so much. So something usually has to give, and that's what happens. But yeah, if you looked at it from a separate device, it would look perfectly fine. It's just your
Amazing.
computer trying to optimize, keep a balance of everything together.
Awesome. I love how active our chat is today, and I love
Yes.
seeing all the people. It's so awesome. Maggie is a substitute teacher. I love the name. This is like so cool. Huge, big hug to all educators here joining us today. Thank you for this. I'm new. Is there a way to make my viewer a moderator? So that's a slightly different feature, but we're happy to take this question as well. So Restream actually offers team feature, team accounts. So what that means is that you can invite somebody else. It could be a viewer, it could be your coworker, friend, anybody to join your team on Restream. And actually, one team seat is offered on free plans, so everyone has at least one co-creator or co-producer for them. Once you invite them to join your team, they can come in, like log into Restream. And basically, what we're doing with Lawson right now is we have the same rights and privileges. We are both admins. I'm the owner of the account, so I kind of control the pricing and the billing, but everything else that I can do, Lawson can do. He can create streams, start them, highlight comments, control my graphics, pull in my guests. So yes, you can totally co-create with one of your viewers and use them as a moderator for chat, as your graphic designer, as your kind of behind the scenes producer. There are all kinds of options there. And yeah, Lawson, maybe if we find a Help Center article about how teams work and drop them in the chat, that would be super cool. So
I will get that.
so Maggie can have a look at how that works. But yes, it's absolutely possible on Restream, and yeah, you can assign anyone this role of moderator. And the nerdy Natty Nebula is saying, yes, more Texas. I'm in Austin. We are too. Awesome. We should go out and have some tacos together at some point. That's beautiful. All right. So there's a question from Facebook user. Question is the Embed capable of scaling resolution depending on the device and viewer is using? Great question. Short answer is yes. And I think this means even though we have a lot more questions, um, we have a lot more questions in our chat. We will go ahead and do our quick demo. So Lawson is going to show you how exactly this Embed will work for both streaming software such as OBS or Cam and Studio. And I'll show you how it works for events. And that's where we will cover how to optimize the size of the Embed for your viewers. Lawson, let me know when you are ready.
Let's do it. Let me get my screen going here. Alrighty. So if you're wanting to embed your stream and you are on an encoder, so you're using a third-party tool like OBS, Ecamm, I know there's a lot of Ecamm people here, or anything else that is not Restream Studio, from your encoder section, at the bottom where you edit your titles and see your stream settings, you'll see a little option for embed stream. If you click this down here, you have a little pop-up that shows up, lets you customize your embed to different sizes, or you can have it responsive so it adjusts to the size of the screen your viewer is on. And then you can take this little HTML snippet and post it onto your website. A lot of website builders have this kind of built-in easy snippet ad. And then, yeah, you can change your viewer counter and upload a thumbnail if you like. If you saw our page before we were live, where if you clicked live now at the top of our top of the page, you could have saw our thumbnail, and that has a little bit of, if it's an event, it'll show you when that event's going live. If you happen to be in Studio, we'll let it load here. All right, there's me. Hello, everyone. You click the little settings icon here at the bottom where you have your normal tooltips. And then from here in the bottom left, you have Embed Stream, and it's the same thing again. Also, if you have an event that's scheduled at the top, it'll let you select if you want it to be event specific. Copy the code here and post that straight on your website.
Cool beans. And I'll go ahead and share my screen real quick so we can also share how this process would work for events. Oops, sorry, I keep getting our little pop-ups here. So if you are like me and you love scheduling your events so you can get the engagement and encourage people to set the reminders and actually kind of prepare them for when you're going live, you might think, well, yeah, that's how I stream. I schedule events. Can I embed my event? And the answer is yes, you can. So here's how that would work. So you'll create an event. If you are actually going to go back one step and you're actually in our home screen, you will start with scheduling your event and going through the steps here. But once your event is created, you will receive this little event card, right? That shows you a little thumbnail, time, and the channels you're going live. And here is your little embed setting. So that's where you can copy your code, and you can also choose to show your viewer counter. And this is where this responsive versus fixed size setting is going to be enabled as well. I personally always select responsive because just like our early comments mentioned, it's a lot more convenient when people are watching on different devices. And since we know that most of our viewers are probably going to experience us on different devices, it makes sense to just make sure that we have that option in. And of course, here you have the option to just get one single code for all of your streams, events, non-events. Just make it static, make it never change, or you can create a special one. That option is very cool for situations when you want to embed different events in different places on your website. For example, maybe something goes under the paywall, as folks were mentioning earlier, something in a specific section of your website where people have to log in order to access it. As well as just maybe you have different sections. There's one section that is talking about product, another section is talking about marketing, and you can embed different events that are related to those topics. Or you can just have it one code for all, and whenever you're live, that's going to be one place in one stream, and it will always appear there. Awesome. So let's get back to our chats.
I see one that's right what we were just talking about of does the embed code ever change? So it doesn't. There's two options if you have an event, you can get a code that's specific to that event. So it will only embed the stream for that scheduled event you have. There's also the other option of works for any stream. That one will never change. That one you can put on your website and leave it and forget it, and it'll always work, no matter what stream it is.
Totally. And there's a really cool follow-up question that I would like to take. What happens with the video after the broadcast? Great point right here. Yes, totally. So what happens to the video is depending on the type of plan that you have. Let's imagine a scenario where you only go to your website, right? Like you don't have any social platforms that are attached to this, because typically what happens for most people is they would go live on their website in addition to YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn, for example. So the video would live in on those platforms, right? After you're done, you still can replay your Facebook or your YouTube stream, so your viewers can. But on your website, it's not going to stay, right? So it's going to turn back to that thumbnail, that placeholder image that you would keep. So next time when you're ready to go live, that box with video would be basically whatever you're streaming live. However, if you are on our standard plan or higher, what we do is we always record your stream. So in your stream recordings, there will always be the high quality copy of your stream ready for you to repurpose. And what you can do with that is download it and upload it on your website as just a regular video for replays. That's what I would recommend doing. But yes, once the live stream is over, the replay is not going to automatically appear in that space, because we want to make sure that that space is safe for your next live video. Awesome. And we have there was a really cool question. I think Randy kind of already took it, with the green screen question.
Randy's too fast.
Randy's too fast, yes, because we have to look at the chat and talk. And hi, guys. There's a lot of new people joining in. That's awesome. So, yes, I think Essence asked about green screen. And let me quickly find that question. How do I make green screen to work well? And I see that Randy already shared a guide and a YouTube video that he actually created about green screens. In addition to that, what I would also say, if you're using Restream Studio, so the proper green screen in the guide that Randy is sharing does require a little bit of equipment, right? Like you have to have that chroma key, that green background behind you in order to make it look cool. However, in our studio, we do offer kind of virtual background. And yeah, that's what Lawson is using right now. But you're using the blur, and I'm going to go ahead and actually demo. I think this one is my favorite, my personal favorite,
I
the
want to be in a
purple.
fancy modern house.
Here we go. Fancy modern house and flying purple platforms. So this is something that you can do in studio without installing any green screen. So what you saw behind me earlier is my absolutely real background, and now without installing any additional equipment, I can just use our virtual backgrounds. They're very Zoom like, so they work in a similar way. But yeah, if you want to hide something that's behind you that you don't necessarily want all your viewers to see, or if you just want to go live on brand, you can always use virtual backgrounds. This feature is free, by the way, so easy way to go live on brand without any additional investment. Great question out there, Essence. And I'm gonna go ahead. Well, Lawson is speaking our next question. I'm gonna go ahead and bring back my great background with all my plants and this fine dog.
Hey, this kind of goes in. Someone was asking the best browser to use for Restream. I'm assuming Restream Studio. Like these virtual backgrounds that we were showing works best in Chrome. A lot of things we found works really good in Google Chrome. That's my choice personally for when I'm in Restream Studio.
Totally. And I did pin a couple of messages from earlier today. So I think actually we'll just keep a couple more questions from Riza here. He's asking question about playing videos inside Restream Studios. Sometimes it lags and seems too heavy. Is it because of my browser or because of the video or internet? That's a great question, and there's like no clear answer without investigating your specific setup. So it could be any of those things, to be completely honest with you. I would definitely make sure that you check your internet connection. What we recommend for your upload speed, something that you can easily test on speedtest.net, I believe, the most common one. You want to see the upload speed of over 50 megabytes per second. So like you want to make sure that you have that 50 number there in order to have like solid quality. And if your number is under 5, most likely that's going to cause some serious issues. So make sure that if you're under 5, you definitely need to change your internet. If you are somewhere between 5 and 50, until you hit that 50 number, there might be some issues, because it also depends on how many people are using your internet. Are you wired or you're using Wi-Fi, and many other factors. Because of my browser is also potentially an answer. It kind of depends on which browser you're using. We recommend Chrome. We recommend to make sure you have the latest version. So if you haven't updated in a long time, definitely do that. Clear your cache and cookies, restart your computer before you go live. That's my personal checklist before I start any stream. So browsers are a little moody, and yes, sometimes playing multiple videos and especially if your video is big and heavy, that could be an issue. What I would recommend to explore as well is how do you stream? Like, how do you play that video? There are at least 3 ways to do it from Restream Studio, if that's what you're using. One is video clips. So those who joined us early today, probably you guys have seen how we played our countdown timer. So that's video clips. Those that option is designed for really short, not very heavy videos, primarily little clips, intros, outros, in between. Something like countdown timer would be a perfect example for that. If you are trying to stream something a little bigger, maybe like a webinar or an interview or even some kind of a bio for your guest, something that's bigger and longer, you have local video file option, which you can find under sources, like a little plus sign under your video box, or you have video storage option. So local video source is going to just take the video from your computer and play it live, while video storage is going to allow you to upload the video in advance. So it's already on our servers, and whenever you're ready, you just play it. We are actually going to demo that soon, because there's one thing that we wanted to show you about the website player and how it works when you are actually adding the code on the website builder. So that version is recommended. So your video storage and uploads is something that will give you a little bit more stability because you can upload the videos in advance. But local video file is a free and pretty easy alternative, but that is going to be a little bit more dependent on how heavy is the video, how good is your internet, and how powerful is your machine. So I definitely recommend exploring those options and testing before your very important stream, so you feel more confident about that.
Awesome. And I wanted to say that I even saw today that there was some optimizations going in for videos, so it's constantly improving. Happy to see it.
Yep, totally. I have another one here from Roundhouse Aquatics. People have cool names, and that might be something for awesome for you to
Yeah,
take.
this
It's a pretty good one.
this goes back to, I think, another browser specific question. I believe that this is more specific to the browser. So like Chrome is an example of one that lets you select specific windows. If you're talking about Restream Studio, of course, I'm assuming so. However, I do with games, it's a little harder. Full screen apps like games are a little hard to capture with the browser, especially at high frame rates, like a lot of games are. So I would test it for sure. It depends on the game for sure. But I think try Chrome for Windows specific, because I think that it's one of those that supports it. I'm not sure about Firefox. I think Safari lets you use it as well.
Awesome.
Another browser specific.
Yeah, and there's some device specific questions as well from Meg is a substitute teacher from earlier on. Sorry, we kind of were talking about all kinds of things today, but I would love to take this to questions. I stream from my iPad, and every now and then the video could be choppy. Why is that? So yeah, iPad is a smaller device, right? Like we were just talking about the power of your machine and how live video is pretty labor intense. It's pretty heavy, and depending on the version of your iPad, how old it is, and how big is your video, how big is how good is the quality of your video, and how good is your internet connection. All those things could affect the outcome. So I would definitely consider testing the internet speed, like the quality of your internet on your iPad. You can do it the same way with speed test, and just kind of understand if you are hitting at least above those 5 megabytes. Um, and if not, that could be a good indication that you might be looking for a better internet connection to stream. Other than that, definitely also depends on like what kind of things you're connecting to this iPad. Like, are you using external cameras, microphones? So how many different things are running? If those issues are kind of sporadic, I would definitely make sure you like test different devices, test different environments, test different qualities for your video. But if it's consistent, I would recommend reaching out to our support team. We have a 24-hour chat that has real humans, streaming technical experts, and they could investigate specifically what's going on with you. And they can also come back to see like what kind of studio settings you have, what kind of videos, what kind of camera, or anything else that you're connecting. So I would definitely recommend kind of like diving a little deeper into that if that issue is persistent.
With an iPad, it might be the wireless, since you're probably most likely on a wireless connection. It might be that sometimes wireless can be a little inconsistent. So being close to your router, if you can, like it could help there as well.
Totally. That's a good one. And here's another one also from Maggie, the substitute teacher. Is there if there is an error during live stream, is there a way to leave and come back to the same stream? Because if I click leave, I have to restart completely different broadcast, basically. Lawson, would you like to take that? Because while you're doing this, I want to add a little bit of music to our jam today.
If you're using Restream Studio, there should be a grace period. So if you have, there's the music coming in.
Yep.
There's a little bit of a grace period that if you have an error, if you quickly refresh, you should have about 2 minutes to get back in before it shuts down the stream. So that should work. But hitting leave is like an in-stream button. So
totally. And especially if you're looking at specific event, if you started your stream like we did with this event, you do have a little bit of that grace period when you can come back and like refresh if there's like a minor issue. But after you're you've been out for more than a couple of minutes. Restream assumes that you're done. So because we don't want you to have like one stream lasting forever, that's why we would be ending that up, and then you'll have to start over again. All right. So as you see, we added a little bit of jam to our conversation today. So that's just another reminder that Restream Studio offers background music. It's royalty free. You have different genres to pick from. So this one is chill, which I think is very representative of how we feel today. The Chill Wednesday. Something that I also encourage you to try to kind of like give a little bit of cool vibe to your live streams.
It's made by a robot. I find it so interesting.
Totally. Yes, it's royalty free. It's electronic. It's like all done by like non-humans. That's why no one can claim it on you. All right, beautiful. So there's some more chat questions here. I see Sean is asking, with Restream Studio, can you have a host that's camera video doesn't appear on the stream? Yes, we can actually demo that. We can hide.
You can make me go away.
Yeah,
Hi.
we can make you go away, and I'm gonna just be like totally like my hands are here, and Lawson can control. Like you can see how he's gonna control. Like for example, remove that chat question, or maybe even change a layout for me. I don't know. Actually, it's gonna be something like this. Yeah, here we go. And of course, he can add some captions, and like you see how he's changing things, maybe some graphics, some overlays, and that's a great option if you have a remote producer. Here we go, Restream website player. It's a great opportunity for you to designate a role for someone who is really good at managing all the things, and you are concentrating exclusively on your narrative and on your very important message. All right, let's bring Lawson back. Ta-da! Awesome. Beautiful. I hope that answers your question, Sean. And Essence here is asking, where do you get that royalty-free music for your background? I'm going to demo real quick. It might create this infinity loop, but this is how you find it. Yeah, it's just the fastest way to show it. So here is your sources, right? Like, so you can add, click this little plus sign, and then all the things that you can add to your stream and studio are going to be listed right here. So you can have presentations if you have a live deck, like any kind of deck, PDF, Keynote, PowerPoint, anything that you would like to present live. Really cool feature for educators, by the way. Video storage, that's where you can upload videos in advance and then play them in slightly bigger, larger size, higher quality. Local video files, something to play directly from your computer. And here's your background music. So those are your genres. So you can see all kinds of things here. And like you just select your genre. And then right here in the corner, it will appear. And you can shuffle it. You can control the volume. So I try to keep it like kind of low. So it's like very, very much of a background thing. But at any point of time, speaking, by the way, of the situation when you have to kind of leave for a little bit, if you want to take a break, you can actually just play the music, put some caption or overlay on that, and just step out. And as long as your community is aware that you're coming, you'll be right back. That's one of the ways how you can kind of like use background music as a quick pause between the stream. So, and it is 100% royalty free. It is already included in Restream. Awesome. And Essence is asking, can you use presentations for pics too? Yeah, you can use images, PDFs, anything you want, and your presentation is going to appear just like your video box. So you can use all of our layouts. You can have picture-in-picture right next to each other, or all of those things. Absolutely. And another comment here from Collaboration of Curiosity is, I love the background music. In combination with the moving background, it sets such a relaxing tone to your stream. Yes, this is what we love. You need to be relaxed because streaming is hard work. It's no small job. So you definitely don't need extra stress when you are live. So the next thing I wanted to show you today, as we are looking at more questions coming in, is actually, I did have a question for you guys, or kind of an invitation. So since we're talking about live streaming on your website today, if you know of somebody who is struggling with this or thinking about starting, I invite you to share the stream with them, and probably the easiest way to do it is to tag them in the comments, so they can have a look at our demo and also see the great questions that you guys asked, and feel more empowered next time they want to go live on their website. And I am adding this to this specific moment because right now I am going to go ahead and show you how I was able to embed my website, I guess my stream, onto my website on Wix. So Wix is one of the most popular platforms for people to build their own websites, right? It's very easy. And I always like to say, if I was able to do that, then that means that everyone can do that. And of course, there are other platforms as well that would work just as well. But I'm going to show you how easy and how quickly it was for me to add my stream to my Wix website. So here we go. Here's my video, and I'm going to use the video storage feature to do that. So let's see. Let's go ahead and do it. So here's my builder, right? So I just clicked on this plus sign, and then I selected Embed, and then embed a widget. And the second I clicked it, see how it created this little like gray smiley face thing. And then I just added the code from that space that Lawson showed earlier. And then I could drag and drop and kind of change, resize it. So I also selected the fixed size. So whenever people are watching on different devices, they can see it kind of in this proportion that I set for them. And that was it. And then after that, the moment I click go live in my studio, which was the code that I chose to embed on my Wix, it immediately appeared on my main page right there. So it literally took me maybe 3 minutes. And that's because I was kind of like looking for that because I was not sure where exactly that Embed section is going to be on Wix, because there's so many different settings that you can play with. And it worked like a charm. It was perfect. So definitely let us know if you are using any website builder like this one, and if you are not sure how exactly to add that code there, you can always reach out to our support team. While we're not experts in every single building platform, we're definitely going to do our best to help. All right. Beautiful. So let us know if you have any other questions about website or anything else at all. I see people are saying thanks a million. I see Essence actually has another question, which is awesome. Can you add different fonts to your stream or download some? So you can if you are using overlays. So for example, right now what I'm using here is our kind of standard highlight chat option. And in that situation, your questions are all going to appear in the same font. If we're using captions, for example, like this one, right? Like I do have several versions or several graphic solutions, so to say. I can show it like this. Oh, sorry, something is not working for my captions right now. But what I can also do, let me actually get rid of this caption here. Oops, I might have to restart.
I hit it there.
Yeah, for some reason I'm experiencing some little delay.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for experiencing our technical difficulties. This is the beauty of live, is you get to see the mistakes in person. Here we are. Anya's back.
All right.
We'll
Yep.
switch us back.
Right back. Yes. So coming back to the question of captions, you can use graphic overlays such as this one, for example. And in this case, your design team, and your design team could be just you in Canva, right? Like no need to have like a whole powerhouse of designers. You can create this transparent overlays, and you can use the font that is matching your brand, and then you can use those preset, and like you can use them as overlays. So if the design is super important, then overlays would be my recommendation, my go-to way. If you just want it to be easier and faster, then you can just use our standard captions, which come with preset fonts, and those are not something that you can change right now. So I hope that helps. All right. Awesome. Live demonstration of technical difficulties, says Collaboration of Curiosity. Yes, that's the power of live streaming.
Yes.
Yeah, you gotta own this. You cannot not know what to do, because this is streaming, this is technology, and as long as it's not complete technical hell, you know what? Most of your viewers are not gonna notice. And Essen says, yes, thank you. This is great. And there are some questions about Wix, which is super cool. Happy to take them. So the Mechanic Lamb Network is saying, and it shows up on the player on Wix. So yes, using the path that I showed in the video just a second ago, you can. Oh, actually, sorry, that was it. That was your question. You can just add that code, and then whenever you go live, it would just automatically appear on that page for you, and your viewers will be able to see it. So it all does the whole thing automatically. All you need to do is just set that code once. Totally. And John here is asking, are you able to adjust where overlay graphics appear on the screen? So yes, if you're designing your overlays, you're basically, think about your screen as a transparent layer, right? And then depending on where on that layer you want certain graphics to appear, you can position them accordingly. But if you're using preset graphics, such as our logo, it's always going to appear in one place, just like where you're seeing Livestream with Restream right now. Mm-hmm. As well as chat messages, they're always going to appear as a lower third. But for your own graphics that you're designing, just treat it as one transparent background and then position your images wherever you need to. Absolutely. Good stuff.
This music is getting very, I'm liking it. I'm jamming out now.
I know, right? Isn't that so fun? All right. So Landmark Church says, thank you so much for tutorial. Yes, guys, if you are using Restream website player and you are embedding that into your website, please leave some comments under this video, wherever you guys are watching us, whether it's YouTube or Facebook or LinkedIn or Twitter. I think I'm live on at least 4 platforms today, different platforms and multiple different channels within the same platforms. Please leave comments with your websites where you are embedding our widget and player, because one thing that we are going to do in the future is we are going to showcase some of our users as we are continuing to promote the feature after release. So you might as well become one of those people who will feature on our landing pages or our user stories or blog. So please definitely share in our Facebook community, on our social channels, how you successfully embedded the player, and let us know if you would like to be featured. We would love to see stories, especially churches who are streaming their live service. I think it's a very, very common use case, and a lot of other churches could see how you guys do that and get inspired. So please definitely feel free to share, drop your links. Beautiful. All right, so as we are nearing the end of our stream, let's just take a couple more questions from our... And I see Randy's just
Randy's too quick.
Randy's so quickly answering all those questions. It's just amazing. That was great. Thank you. Yes, please. Just one more time. Drop your links to your websites where you're streaming, so we can have a look. Feel free to reach out to our customer support. It's a 24/7 real humans. Real technical experts, streaming experts who are here to help you. And if you're feeling a little intimidated by website streaming, I get it. I was really terrified when we started to think about this feature and started to build it. But it's actually a lot easier than it seems. And all you need to do is just understand how you build your website. A lot of website builders, such as Wix, make it very, very easy for you, as we showed earlier. And if you're still stuck, just let us know. Reach out to our 24/7 support team, and definitely be on the lookout for that announcement email that is coming out next week, where we talk about the website streaming, how it works, and the special offer for those who we invite to use it and explore it. All right. Thanks again, everybody. And thanks for your comments. And on this bright note, we wish you a wonderful rest of your Wednesday, and have yourself a great stream on your website.
On your website. Thank you, everyone.